Thank you very much. I think we had a very nice session on water and IT. Yeah? We covered the whole spectrum from drinking water to wastewater and sewers and treatment, but also from the holistic view to the predictive control, and I think it was a really nice overview. I want to invite all the speakers to the front, and then maybe when there are some questions or discussions, we can open the discussion, maybe between the speakers as well. Yeah, yeah, maybe.
Majority is on the other side.
Yeah. Okay. Are there any questions? No questions? Everyone tired?
Where are the drinks?
Then maybe I have a question for all the speakers, I think, because what my feeling is now, we have a lot of investments in all these smart systems, and the consultant firms are doing things, and the university are doing things, and the water companies are doing things. Is there a need to integrate the efforts and see whether we can combine the efforts and have really in the coming future an integrated smart system, water system in the Netherlands or Europe or the world?
I think it's in the story I told is it's impossible for one party to cover it all, and I already said it is becoming more difficult to find people to work in the water sector, at least in the Netherlands. So if we combine our efforts and we can learn from each other, it means that you have to create some kind of open source platform where you can exchange ideas and also exchange apps, because it's the same. You can compare it with the iPad. There are also apps, and they're made by different parties, but you can use them at the same platform.
Yeah. Otto, do you have an opinion?
Yes, right answer. I totally agree. I mean, it's impossible that one party should do it alone.
Okay.
And I mean, yeah, they're all Dutch here. So I think.
You could use the microphone.
Well, I think indeed that we can enhance each other. I mean, there's a lot of different fields, and if we work together, I think as a Dutch companies together, we can conquer the world, of course.
Okay. Yes, as for application of smart control, you notice that it's always at the wastewater treatment level of system. In our company we have 12 wastewater treatment plants, and I have seen only 6 where it might be beneficial for application. So it's not, you should think very well before you start with such projects, because it's not that expensive, but a lot of work.
Okay. Yeah, Ignas, can you use that microphone there?
I have a question. My name is Ignas Worm. I work for PWN, which is a Dutch water supply company. You bring us a lot of solutions in all different ways. You come with solutions. One of the big problems I experience in my company that we are not able to define what we want, to define what our lacks are in our knowledge, what our problems are in our facilities. That sounds a bit weird, but I'm convinced that our research world and all these things you tell here today are because you think the world can be better. Can you, either one of you, help us to, or in what way could you help the water supply companies, which are, have the facilities and the utilities and the problems? How can you help us to define what we don't know and to help us to define our problems?
good question for you.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
When I was Rob Schotman, I would have told you that 2 years ago nobody in the entire world would have wanted to have an app, just because it wasn't there. And just because it was there, everyone wanted it. And through good commercialization, you reach a stage that everyone has an app now. So what we are doing here is showing you and all other customers the possibilities of thinking about their own systems to implement things like this. Because, what's also true is that when you don't have problems, you still can have them but are not aware of them. Or that you have solved them already, and then you don't need any help. So it's up to you to see, but it's not only solving problems; it's also taking opportunities. That's what I can say.
What I like to add that it's very important for a company to create a vision what they try to reach with it. You can make a comparison with asset management. It's what we call in Dutch a container where we dump all our data and all our information in, but every company has a different perspective of what they want to do with it. I think it's very important if you create a vision what you want to reach, just does not look at the real data, just what you try to reach, what is your goal. And from there on, you have to concrete it, to make concrete issues. I want to do something about this, about that. And from there on, create small things. Because if you create small things, you get quick benefits. And my hope is that if you make quick benefits, you create money, which you can use to create another one, and another one, and another one. Because it's also a problem for the management. Where do I start and where do I end? They need a framework from where on you can create all the activities.
I agree, especially on one word you used, and that's the word vision.
Yeah.
And I think for water supply companies to have a vision, and to have a vision not only in managerial terms, but in, let's say, in water treatment terms or in distribution terms, or maybe that's lacking, or it could be more developed.
But it's more than only data, because you're going to talk what quality of company you want to be. Want to be at the top, or I want to be very efficient, because then you make a different approach, a different balance between risk, finance, and how your treatment plants and your distribution system is working. So first you need the vision, otherwise you're running around and you don't know where you're going to.
But I think it's also an inherent characteristic of a water company. Is a water company doing something that is already known, or do they want to improve and be an early adopter, or what is it? So I think that is also has to do with culture, and I think that is I don't know whether you were here when the young water professionals were presenting. Their idea is also that technology is there, but the implementation of technology depends a lot on whether we are willing to implement it, and whether we have the structures, more the social structures or the political structures, right. And that is, I think, something that we have to work on, maybe more on the implementation than on the technology itself. Yeah. Okay, Jan-Peter.
Maybe one short comment on what you say, that water companies don't have a vision. Well, I won't speak for Waternet because, well, that's a little bit strange, of course. But look at your own company. I think you have a vision. The newest technology and the highest quality. So isn't that what you're aiming at?
Yes, of course. Well, it's not that we don't have any vision at all, though. Of course, but I think it's a very interesting. It's a very interesting why all these techniques present themselves and try to convince us that how interesting it is. And I think, Luuk, that you're right. We should have a look on how to implement, how to get political support, how to get support by our customers to invest in all these very, of course, very sexy and nice things to have.
Okay. Is there?
It's not
Oh,
only
here's your- Kijk,
sexy.
here,
And I
Alex,
think
Alex.
if you say all those sexy things, then I think that creates a wrong image, because we're not doing it because it has a sexy image, but because it saves energy, or it saves raw materials, or it saves money because we can postpone an investment. So everything we do should have a real function there. That's.
Okay. Are there some other questions? No, I think then we have to finalize. I don't want to have a real wrap up, because we did already. We had already these nice presentations, and I wrapped it up already a little bit. But I want to give Jan-Peter van der Hoek the possibility to formally close the session and give you some guidance where to go the next hours.
Well, some closing remarks. I won't make it long, so don't worry, because otherwise we miss the drinks, and that should be a pity. First of all, I want to thank all the speakers and the chairman of the sessions. They did a great job, and they made this conference a success, so that's very good. And, well, we looked at integrated solutions that should result in higher quality of the water cycle, a higher efficiency, and a more sustainable and robust water cycle. And I think the speakers presented innovative approaches in these fields. I don't go in detail, but looking at membrane technology, we saw new concepts and hybrid systems, biological processes for drinking water, wastewater, focusing on carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur. Emerging technologies for emerging compounds. We saw the QSAR approach further developed, the TCC concept, and we saw either sewer epidemiology to find the use of drugs in wastewater, sensor technologies in water treatment and distribution, soft sensors, sensors to predict fouling of membrane systems, online sensors for regrowth in drinking water, quite innovative. And finally, this session, well, we saw new possibilities and opportunities to optimize operations of the water cycle. So overall, we have seen many new approaches covering the whole water cycle. That is what we wanted. And it were innovations that will be applicable in practice. That was the other condition for this conference. Therefore, it's not only time to close this conference, but to celebrate the results, and therefore I invite you for drinks, and that will be at Strand Zuid. I don't know exactly where it is, but Steven Kruijsen will tell us exactly where it is, and he will bring us to that location. And there is a closing ceremony, a little party for the whole week, and there will also be fireworks. So drinks, fireworks, a nice closing. Thank you for your attention and being here so long. Well, thank you. Goodbye.